Hello everyone, my name is Katie and welcome to my Greenland Quilter channel. I hope everybody's been having a really good weekend, and I just thought I would go live and just sew. So if you're here to sew, have a seat. If you want to chat, you can do that too. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and work on what I've been working on the last couple of days, and that's my tulip pink dragon fruit stuff. Plus I have a couple other things I wouldn't mind talking about, and we'll talk about them in a bit. As well. Okay, so that's what we're going to do right now is I'm going to be going back and forth between the iron and the desk. And hey, Lori, welcome. And that's what I plan on doing is just sewing, and we'll have some conversation while we're at it. It's going to be pretty laid back. How are you doing, Lori? I hope you're doing good. So, yeah. Right. Let me get my screen all set up. So there's a couple things I'll be working on depending on how far along or how long I want to mess with it anyway. Hi, Robin. I hope you're doing good. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to work a bit on my tulip pink stuff, and I'm also going to show you a couple things I'm going to do some sewing on the pieces of my magnolia. And then I'm going to show you something that I want to start. I was going to show you the fabric that I was going to make it from, but I seem to have misplaced it, which is a little, and instead of me getting all frustrated before this live, I decided I'll show you what I'm going to make. And then later I'll show you the fabric I'm going to use. Hello, Regina. Hello, Jamie. Hey, New Horizons. Welcome. And hi, Fern King. If y'all want to share your channel, all you have to do is type the word !selfie, and you can share your channel link in here as well. Okay, so anyway, that's what I'm going to work on right now. I'm going to finish up this block because I've already got, here's what I'm working on. This is what the finished one looks like. Is just like that. Okay, and I have one more of this particular one to do, and then I'll start on the other ones. Yes, we have power again. No internet, just on my phone. Ouchie. Hello, Charlotte. Welcome. That's not good, not having power. Where are you at that you don't have power? No, type !selfie, and then it'll share your channel on New Horizons. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, this tulip pink that I'm working on is the tulip pink dragon fruit sew along that Fat Quarter Shop is hosting. So that's what I'm working on, and I am super behind, but I don't care that I'm behind. As long as I get this thing done by the end of August, that's all I care about. So it's not going to matter that I'm not finishing it with the Fat Quarter Shop, because I need to send it off to the United States for quilting, because I'm making this for my granddaughter who will be 14 in December. And I'm hoping to get all the stuff done, the quilting, the binding, and get it to her mom so that her mom can hang on to it till her 14th birthday, and then she's going to get it as a gift. She was born on the 17th of December, so this will be a right present before Christmas. And then I don't know, because I really don't know what she's into these days since she's 14, and I haven't seen her in a hot minute. We have a whole bunch of new stuff and live streams on right now. I'll be checking you out and doing some playlist viewing so you can get some watch hours. It's always good to help each other. So how's everyone's weekend been? I hope it's been good. Sorry I wasn't on last night. I just didn't feel like it last night or yesterday afternoon. Something got in my way. How many of y'all saw that big fish that I posted on the community tab. Robin says, have you seen the flooding in Texas? 79 dead so far and 10 RVs, trailers still missing. I heard about it. I was going to make a comment about it, but I didn't want anybody getting offended. So I feel bad for the families, but this is Mother Nature letting us know, you know. I'm just surprised that so many got caught in this. Yeah, that flounder is very big. It got caught in the on the front of the gear of their trolling gear. There's a opening where anything big can just slide right out of it. And apparently this one was doing the same thing. I don't know if y'all saw the video that we shared some time ago of a seal sitting inside of that little space that I'm talking about. And he was sitting there catching shrimps as it came through the entrance along with fish. He was having a free-for-all. And that's probably what the flounder was doing. It got caught in there, and instead of getting out like most of them do, it decided, like, free food, let's eat shrimps. Hey, Judy Smith and Charlotte, and hey, Bud Falls, welcome, welcome. It's over on my community tab. My husband caught a very big size flounder. And when I mean big size, it's huge. They get bigger than that, of course. Now I've seen halibut bigger than that one. But I didn't think it looked like a halibut because the last time I saw a halibut, it was a bit different color than that. So how's everybody doing? Charlotte says that flounder was huge. Yes. There's lots of meals coming off of that one. If you want to share your channel, type exclamation selfie to share your channel. You're more than welcome to share it in my channel. As long as you don't go spamming everybody half to death. Which nobody does. But I thought I would sew for a few hours. I was very tired yesterday, so I ended up and went to bed at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I didn't wake up until, I won't tell you what time I woke up today, but I slept a long time. I got up 2 or 3 times, of course, but I had to let the dog out a couple times, but I was still tired, so I laid back down and went to watch a movie, and 5 minutes later, I guess I was asleep, because when I woke up, the movie was over with, and I was still asleep. It is terrible. I live in San Antonio. My daughters were supposed to go to Austin this weekend. I kept them home because of the rain. Didn't want them driving in it. With all that rain, did they know there was going to be a flood from it? Or this is just one of those freaky things when nature drops a ton of rain all at once? If any of y'all want to come hop on the Zoom with me, you're welcome to it. Let me know. That is the ones I know anyway. I know most of y'all are in here right now. Ouch. Ooh, the iron be hot. And my iron has stopped making beeping noises, so it makes me think it's going to be a problem soon. I hope not. I really don't want to have to buy another dang iron. I haven't dropped this one on the floor at all. The last one I had, I kept dropping it on the floor. It was because I kept getting tangled up in the cord. So I'm trimming this right now, and then I'm going to show you that I have finished this one. And now I've got all 4 of this one done too. And then I'll remind everybody what I'm working on. Okay, number 4 is done. Look here. Isn't that cute? Yep, yep. And this is what the back looks like. I haven't took the paper off of it yet. But this is foundation paper piecing, in case you didn't know that's what this was. It happened west of us, more rain than predicted at 3 in the morning in rural areas. Wow. Someone was making a comment about how forecasters don't know what they're talking about. They can give you an estimate of what they think's going to happen, but Mother Nature can do whatever she wants. And if she decides she's going to dump a bunch of rain, she's going to dump a bunch of rain. It's only a forecast. It's not set in stone. And I heard a lot of people complaining, well, they didn't get enough warning or they underestimated the rain. It's very easy for this to happen. It's like here. We get what you call a foehn wind. Now, we'll get a warning saying that we're going to have gale force winds, and it could be a category 1, 2, or 3. Sometimes they believe it'll only be a mild one, and then it turns out to last 7 long days of a category 2 wind event. This is all prediction. It's not set in science or set in gold and say it's only going to be this way. I'm just shocked at 3 inches is a lot of daggum rain all at once. Do you know how big of an area that 3 inches covered, Regina? Hey, Patricia. So anyway, I had to make 4 of these while we're talking about the weather. And my house feels like a sauna. I want to open the door, but I don't want to let the mosquitoes in, because the mosquitoes have come with a vengeance. So that's one set. And then these are another set. I have to do 5 sets of 4s. So this is another set. They all look the same. And then there's this one, and this one's different. So now I'm going to continue on with working on these small blocks. These are 4-inch paper piecing blocks for the dragon fruit sew along. And I started out, I have all of these made, but every one of them is wrong. All of them. There is, let me see, I'll count how many's wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 of these that are wrong. And some are going to say, well, why don't you go ahead and use them? I can't, because the way they set up the color side of this, or this way, and the white side, all of these get set up a certain way. And if this side's not correct, you're going to see it. They'll be like, uh-oh, what's wrong with that? So that's why I've restarted, but I'm going to see if I can't rip some of these out. See how, well, I got to look at the picture first, and we'll figure out how many of these I can actually rip out and start again on, and which ones I can't. Six inches, dang. That's a lot of rain. I remember getting that kind of rain in Florida, and boy, can it cause a flood. You know, land gets renovated, and it doesn't, and it's not compensated for flood events, and this is really a problem these days. Share your channel. Oh, I was about to say, what's this? All right, so let's go to the next one and see what I got to do, or if I can even correct these. I don't know that I can, but we're going to see if I can. Okay, so these are the guava blocks. And these are different blocks. I'll set these aside. Okay, let me see where I went wrong on these. Like with this one, I have, it's really silly. So this part's correct. This part is correct. This part is, and then you get down here and it's wrong. There should be one more of this lighter color going down here, and this green right here should be on this side and the white on that side. So that goes all the way back to the beginning. So I'm not even going to bother. This one Can you see what I did? There should be white up there. Now this one I might be able to, yeah, this one I probably can rip out part of the way because I didn't mess up all the way down to the center because you start in the middle with this paper piecing. So this one I'm going to try ripping part of it out. This one, you see I missed this spot, but the green right here is where it's supposed to be. So I'll probably go all the way back there and fix that one. And then we got this one. And this one looks like I just need to, yeah, this one I just need to do the outside and it'll be finished. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to repair those. This one is not going to get repaired. I'm just going to put it back in there. These orphan blocks that are where I can't really do anything about, I'm going to hang on to them and then I'll use them either on the back of the quilt probably, or I might get creative and cut them in a diagonal or something and create like a half triangle or something and make something out of it, you know, because these will be great scrappy blocks too. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Robin says, from what I've seen, the campsite was next to a dry riverbed. One of the people camping there said he thought it was just a creek. I wonder how long it had been empty. So this going down here. We need one more down here. So that's number 11, number 12, number 13. Okay. This one I can continue on the way it is. This one I need to take it all the way back to there. See, or I could just leave these and just make new ones. I mean, it's not like I couldn't make, actually I might do that, make new ones. I'll go ahead and finish this one and I'll just make new ones because I have plenty of fabric to work with. Get some of the ones I don't need anymore out of here. Hey, Joy T, how you doing? It's good to see you. It is very sad. Especially when there's children involved. All right. What I'm doing is I'm trying to pick out what I don't need, that I'm not going to use. Okay. Well, besides the exhausting weekend, did everybody have a good weekend? What did anyone work on any projects this weekend? And if you did, what did you work on? And I'm going to make a poll. I know, I have a poll that has to do with a Greenland shark. But you can't go look up the answer, you have to guess. We'll see who knows the answer. I think it'll be fun to see, you know, what everybody says. Because you'll be shocked when you get the answer. So for those that didn't see the picture I posted on my community tab of a big, huge fish, you should hop over there and have a look. Because Nikolai caught it in their nets today by accident. It wasn't an intentional thing. But now they're going to be eating it. And it's big. Okay, I got everything out I wanted out of here. All right. Okay. Now then, we are going to need, let me see here. I'm going to need this. Put these in the box. Put this in the box. Then we're going to need a long piece and then a longer piece. Now we'll just be cutting off of this one. Okay. I've been working on a scrap quilt for almost a week, says Jamie. How's it coming along? Okay. So let me see what we need to do next. Okay, this is number 11, 12, 13. Okay. All right. What have you been up to, Robin? Says Joy T. I have this song in my head, the one that says, should I go or should I go or should I wait? Should I stay or should I go now song? I don't know why I have that song in my head. But I do. Jamie says, good, I'm almost done with the blocks. Uh-oh. Oh, this is not a good start. I put this fabric the wrong direction. Oh my gosh. Nothing worse is to make a mistake first thing. You know, I've been thinking about that block, this block back here behind me. I'm really thinking about putting reverse applique circles in each of those big blocks and then sewing a pinwheel up behind it. Because I think there's just too much empty space and it keeps bugging me. Hey, Teresa.
Hey, Katie.
I didn't even hear you come in.
I was being polite, not interrupting you.
Well, look who's here to sew with me tonight. There's Teresa.
Hello, everyone.
Joy T says, I like pulls. And she says, I saw that big fish, Katie. Yeah, I'm going to make a pull here directly. It has to do with another type of fish.
A fish pole?
I want to see if they can, and no looking it up. I want to see if they can guess which age number fits this particular is for the Greenland shark. You'll be surprised. So I saw that you got your quilt top all laid out on the design board.
Yeah, I did. And I took a picture of it and then I kind of was studying it while I was on break. And I'm going to try a different layout.
Mm-hmm.
So I might go over and move things around a little bit.
I think that would be great. And we can watch you brainstorm it.
I was thinking about maybe doing like a color variation. So dark to lighter.
That sounds like fun. So you'll end up like one side of the quilt being dark and the other side lighter. Is that what your plan is? That sounds very good. Very cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to go over there and see if I can get it to do that. And some of the people in the chat, I think, were in my live, so
Yeah, I saw some of them in there.
they'll be able to tell me what they think one way or the other.
By the way, I hope you didn't think I was in there doing a bad thing by
No, I
mentioning
was just teasing you.
because that's not why.
You were in there
Yeah,
scalping.
I was. I sat for almost 2 hours debating on whether to even say anything
Oh, you say something.
because I'm like, some people might take offense to me even bringing it up. Like, this is not your channel. But I
Well,
thought,
I'm not gonna, I wasn't gonna be on all day.
well, no, of course not.
Yeah. So,
I felt like sewing, and that's what I wanted to do, but I wanted to start a little bit later so some of these lives could get, done from other people.
yeah, there's like 15 lives right now.
Oh no, there's one
Well,
going to,
they're not all sewing channels. I just went like
yeah.
I wanted to see all the lives, and there's a lot of lives on right now.
Well, I figured I would watch Tiffany's later, probably tomorrow while I'm doing something else, because for the most part, anything a lot of times because there's so many people in that chat, Scott's not able to catch everybody's comments. So I'll just re-watch it. I watched some of it because Eric's on there.
Yeah, I saw that. Eric's on there.
And I'm like, haha. Hmm.
Yeah, I think she's got like 520. When
Yeah,
I was there, it
yeah.
was like 520 people. So,
Yeah, and it's easier to just go and watch the replay, and then if I'm going to comment, I could comment in the comment section, and she generally answers all of those. Either you'll get a heart or she'll actually say something,
right.
so she knows you're there. But I was happy to. It's been a while. It's been a minute since they've sewn together, and you know what? He's going to come over to we when he did his live. I think it was a week ago. I believe it was on a Tuesday. I think. I made a comment. I said, first I asked him if things had slowed down, and I put this on the wrong side again. Dadgummit. Um, I asked him if he, was getting back into sewing again because what he did is he came on live to talk about where he's been because he hasn't had a live in a minute, and I
Yeah.
knew it was because he was working his hiney off on this new job he's got, and he had told me back in I think it was January that he didn't know if he was going to have time to sew with anyone for several months, and that that meant me, Tiffany, anyone. And he didn't even know. He told me he didn't even know if he was going to have time to do his own lives. And for a little while there, he was doing like 2 or 3 lives a month, and then it just totally dropped off. So I figured, wow, his job must be really taking up his time. So um, when he did the live Tuesday, and he said he's going to try to get back into a groove of being on live. I sent him an email, and I said, does that mean you might have time to free up and sew with other people? And he says, yes, that's the goal. And then he saw that I was doing that 12-hour celebration for the channel, and he says, you know what? I'm going to come sew with you the last half of it. So instead of having to set a separate date to sew together, he's just going to hop on the live and sew with me.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, and any creator is welcome to get on there. I just need to, I don't know how I'm going to get the link out to, I guess what I should do is just send an email to all of y'all that normally come and hang out on my channel anyway. And then hopefully everybody will answer the email. And if, say, yes, I'll come by for a few minutes. I'm in negotiations with cotton cuts for a sew along with a certain person. And it's just a matter of getting that one pinned down. And y'all are going to love it when you see who I'm going to sew with. It'll be
Yeah,
the last person on the planet you think I'd be sewing with.
really?
Mm-hmm. Anyone want to try guessing who it might be? because I already talked to Kim, and Kim said, yeah, we're up. She talked to the person, and the person's up for it. And if I'm not careful, I'll spill the beans before someone guesses.
Let's see. Cotton cuts and
Who in cotton cuts?
yeah. Let me
Because
think.
most of you have already seen me sew with Kim more than once. So who
Is
do you
it
think?
somebody from Cotton Cuts?
Yeah, they're a part of cotton cuts, all right. Ah, look who! Oh my God, Terry already guessed it. Yes, it's going to be Dominic, the boy who sews.
Oh,
Yeah, I kind of would like to set it up maybe where I could get if I could hit up maybe Sean to come on with us. That would be cool, but I don't know. Sean's always busy, so. But either way, I thought it would be fun to bring a young man on, and so that the younger generation, like, oh, he's sewing, so can I,
right.
you know. So it'll be a good influence.
Does
Someone,
anybody out there know if you can sharpen pinking shears?
I would think you could if you had someone that did it. Because I thought about bringing a couple pair of scissors back to the United States with me and find someone to sharpen them. You know what else I want to bring back to the United States and get sharpened? My freaking kitchen knives.
Yeah, I can do kitchen knives and regular scissors, but these, have grooves in them. So,
Yeah. Sean,
I,
well, his ears must have been burning.
I heard that you could use cut tin foil.
I've heard that too. I don't know
Um,
if that's true, but
yeah, I don't know either.
I guess the only way to find out is take a cheapy pair of scissors like this,
Yeah.
run them through a couple times on the aluminum foil and see if it does make them sharper. Because I can tell you this will not cut fabric. I have tried cutting fabric with it. It's definitely history.
Yeah, my paper scissors, I cannot cut fabric with those at all.
Yeah, yeah. They will not cut nothing but paper now.
Well, hi, Sean. Hello,
How you doing?
Rita. Okay, Terry says, Teresa, I don't think so. And Rita says, yes, you can, Teresa Louise.
Oh, so
And
this is a debatable thing then.
okay, Denise says, I know that it can be done. Joanne used to have a professional come to our local stores a couple of times a year. Okay.
That's cool.
A steel that is round sharpens pinking shears. Well,
So it must be a lot like that circular stone that you use sometimes with knives too then.
these aren't round, these are triangles.
Yeah.
But I wonder, my husband has a chainsaw and he has special files for that.
That
I
might
wonder
work.
if he could use those.
That's a very good question. Very good question.
Of course there are, Denise.
Terry says, I am reading someone with the right tools can do it.
Yeah.
And hey, Rita, welcome. Do you want to come on? Rita says, or the long thin file similar to what they use to sharpen chainsaw blades.
Robin says a thick aluminum foil, it works. I'm going to try it because what do I have to lose,
Rita says foil works as well. Sandpaper foil.
Denise, I just want you to know that I went and watched Kimberly's YouTube video on this pop-up thing that I was sewing earlier. And I found it funny that she made the same two mistakes I made at the very beginning of the video. So that made me feel better. And although, you know, her video was like 16 minutes where mine was 3 hours.
Yeah, but I guarantee you there was stop, go on
Oh
hers.
yeah, I know. Because she read right from the pattern, you know.
Yeah.
Um, okay. So I took that apart and I took the circles apart, the bottom, and I used the pinking shears on it. So I want to see if I like that better. And I really wish I could do the pinking shears on this other part too. But I don't think those are sharp enough, so am just going to live with it. And the next thing I got to do is fix my sewing machine.
Are you having trouble with it?
Yeah, it started not sewing correctly. It wasn't pulling up the bobbin thread like it normally does, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really loose. Plus, I hit a couple of pins, so I think my needles.
Yeah,
And I think I need to use a heavier duty needle for this project.
I would think so for that because that's going through a lot of thickness, right?
What? I'm sorry.
That's going through a lot of thickness.
Yeah, this one is 4 fabrics thick, so
Now, this is exactly why I'm not interested in making bags because I think I would just get frustrated. Plus, I need to learn more about how I know I can adjust that how the foot sits on thick pieces because I've messed with it a tiny bit, but I'm so reluctant about changing settings and not be able to put it back. Because my mother always
um
said, you don't touch anything and it won't mess it up.
oh no. I like messing with things and
Yeah,
fixing it. You know, that's how you learn.
I know,
Um
but if I can't undo what I messed up, then I'm
yeah,
screwed
but you
because
got
I
the
don't have.
book, right? You need to know
Yeah,
how
but
to fix it.
the book is not that clear.
I bet you there's a video.
That's one of my biggest complaints is the book is just not clear enough.
I would look up YouTube and see if there's a video, and then if there is. And Denise says, and she was struggling too. Yes, she was, Denise. She was. Rita says, just make sure you use a heavy duty foil. Works for scissors also if you do not have a sharpener. Thick foil also works for paper punches. Yeah, Robin. Somebody told me my hexie maker to use aluminum foil to sharpen that. Um, Maybe need to clean under the bobbin, change the needle. Yes, yes, Rita. Rita says I make a ton of bags, which yes are thick, but I just use a needle designed for denim.
No, Zaza,
Um,
not normally. I just um I wanted to
Hi
sew,
Zaza.
so and I didn't want to sew by myself, so that's why I'm on here.
Um,
And I'm pretty sure I won't be going to sleep anytime soon because I slept a long time yesterday. It's funny, Sherry knew what I was doing. She sent a message and she says, get some good rest while you're getting it. So she already knew what I was doing. I knew when I got up yesterday around 9 o'clock, I'm like, nope.
Yeah, my glasses are so dirty.
Doing it today. And I did. I fed the dog, took her out for potty patrol, and then I went back to bed.
I've been up since 6 o'clock and I have not taken a nap today.
Let's see, what time did I get up today? I got up today at 11, I think. And then I tried to go back to sleep, and all that long sleep I got yesterday, it's like, you're not going back to sleep.
And Brandon didn't take a nap yet today either.
Wow.
I know, that is a real shocker.
I can imagine it is. This is really weird.
For hexagon punches, after foil, I also punch was paper, helps punch smoother. Okay.
Okay, we need to make sure I don't lose that paper before I can trim.
Oh, I don't know, Jamie. Jamie wonders if you sharpen an aqua quilt board with tin foil too, if that works. Boy, I don't know.
Sean says, I had a nap earlier and it was wonderful. That's why you're up still awake. I figured you'd be in bed by now. Not complaining though. It's good to have you here. All right, I'm going to make a poll so you can answer my question. Let's see who knows the answer to this poll. I think I'm going to make a poll. Where's the settings at for that? That's very strange. Oh, let me guess. I have to go to the main part of it. Yep, that's exactly what I got to do. Can't do it from the pop out. That's weird. All right.
I'm just going to use a 90-14. And let's see, I'm going to put in a different bobbin.
See here, how do I want to work
With
this?
some dark thread.
Okay. Okay, do not go look this up. You have to guess. Some of you might already know the answer if you happen to read about it. I always read a lot, so that's why I know the answer to this. And if you do know the answer, after the poll's gone for a while and we start talking about it, save this other answer to yourself. Do you think that the oldest living shark was a male or a female? But save that answer until after we talk about the poll. Let's see here what happens with this response.
I think I saw that in a documentary, so about the age of the shark thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll put in my guess.
Okay. No looking it up,
No, I didn't look it up.
but I'm sure some of you read about it or saw a documentary on it. And that's okay, because that's how you'll know the answer or not, or whether you are paying attention, that is. Because when I saw it, I'm like, really? Nikolai, I think, has seen one at least once. They usually don't. You usually don't see them all that much. Sometimes you might see them hanging around with humpback whales in Greenland. They're not predatory. They are a friendly shark. So they don't come and eat people. Sean says he thinks he's read about that a while back too. Make sure you vote. The other thing is while I have some of you watching right now, I want to ask you a question. The young woman who has a YouTube channel called Q's Greenland, she started a 30-day series. It has a lot to do with the language of Greenlandic, as well as how to pronounce the cities and towns and villages here in Greenland. And because there's been an epidemic of English-speaking people pronouncing the capital wrong. It's not Nook, it's Nuke. And if you look at the way it's spelled like this, N-U-U-K. Those two U's mean you draw out a long sound U in Greenlandic. So she's making a little YouTube shorts on how to pronounce things in Greenland more properly. Like I knew I wasn't quite saying Ilulisat right. It's actually Ilis. Yeah, I'll have to show you the video of how she pronounces it. Denise says,
Well,
did you see how the shark chased a little girl as she was being rescued after biting her 3 times? You know, blood is a frenzy for animals. That'd be like trying to take a human from the mouth of a lion. Salsa says she thinks she remembers seeing something about it too. Sean says, is its name Casper, the friendly shark? Oh my gosh. Another comedian tonight. I was waiting for Rita to hop in on that one. I really felt bad about dropping my little bomb yesterday or Friday on a live. That was really embarrassing. That usually
yeah.
doesn't come off my mouth that easy. But we were talking about something that really I get feisty about. I don't like people being mean to people. Okay, here's the next one, and this is properly done now. Finally, now we can get on with getting the other 3 of them done. Let's see, I need court. What is this one? Log cabin. That's courthouse stairs.
Okay, I found a thread broken off in there.
Uh-oh.
So
Maybe that was what was causing the issue, man.
it could have been.
Yeah, that sounds like it. I know that my machine gets persnickety when a piece of thread is caught down in there. Rita says, "What? I heard nothing live on Friday. Ha ha ha. What's funny? Whatever you said, but I heard nothing. I know nothing." So, uh, y'all are gonna get a big laugh out of this. So, Andy knows about it from Crafty Witch, and she says, "Can I do a little short and snatch that part of the video out and turn it into something funny?" It's like, whatever, go for it. I've been waiting for me to get this. You cannot do that, and tell them they're going to demonetize that particular video
There's,
for that. No,
there's people that cuss all the time on their videos. So,
I know, but I don't know about that F word though.
yeah, I know a lady that does, and I don't know if she still does, but she had a quilting show or channel, sewing, quilting, this and that. And yeah, she had a really bad potty mouth
Why do people call it a potty mouth?
because you used to get your mouth washed out with soap.
Ew.
Well, I did.
I
I
got my mouth washed out with soap because I said the word crap. My grandmother did that.
I had my
Little
mouth
girls are not
washed out.
supposed to talk like that. I'm like, what?
I had to eat soap a few times in my life,
Yeah.
and it does not taste good, let me tell you.
No, it doesn't.
Uh, yeah, dirty words, says Zaza. I've heard plenty of F words on YouTube. That's
Oh,
from
he says,
Zaza.
Sean says, I think the rule with swearing is that it's on occasion and not in the first 20 seconds of a video. It's definitely not in the first 20 seconds. We were well into an hour or so of it, I think, before
Oh,
that
yeah.
happened. And we got on a subject that just kind of, oh my God. I just went, we were talking about restaurants and Gordon Ramsay. That's who we were talking about. And I was talking about, and it's not just his show. I see it on. I mean, they have these chef um contests, and I don't know why the judges have to be so hateful. I don't think anyone should have to be, because to me, that's verbal abuse in a big way. I am not redoing this one. Judy says, I got to go to bed. Cindy Surratt, see you next time.
Hi, Judy.
I mean, I'm not one to use that word to begin with, and the first time I used it, I think me and Nicola had been married a couple years or something, and I was in the kitchen doing something, and I burnt something, and I was aggravated, and I had this string of obscenities that came out of my mouth, and he comes walking in, and he says, "Did I just hear what I thought I just heard?" And I'm like, "Yeah." You never talk like that. You must be upset about something. And I said, I burnt this, dadgummit. And he's like, it's okay, honey. That's his favorite. It's all right. Don't worry about it. I'm like, no, it was not supposed to be burnt. And he's right. Usually I don't use that particular word or the one that you add another word to the front of it.
I don't use the F word very often.
Yeah. Usually when I use the F word, it means I'm really mad.
Neither
But the
really
other night
mad
I wasn't.
or I hurt myself, that's
Yeah.
when I
Yep. That too. Or I make a big mistake and do something really stupid that would normally not happen.
Now, if I had my zigzag machine up here, I would zigzag this pop-up
Well, just
project.
so would that make it easier then, or no?
Well, it wouldn't be easier, but I would feel better about the raw edges because there's going to be a lot of raw edges, and um, zigzag just kind of helps protect your raw edges, you know. Doesn't come apart as easily.
At least this Janome does zigzag.
But
I guess
the
this
needle's not popping anymore, so that's good.
you changed it.
Yeah, I changed it.
So before Nikolai left, because he tried to help me find it, we couldn't find it. I was putting a leader in the machine, only it was a really thin leader, and it got sucked into the machine. We could not find where it went.
Uh-oh.
Somewhere down in my machine is about a half an inch long, extremely thin piece of fabric.
Huh.
And it's down there where we cannot see it at all. And I'm worried about it, but I'll keep sewing until I start having issues, and then I'll have to send my machine to Denmark. And when that happens, I'm not going to have a machine to sew on unless I sew on that singer. I'd rather not. I've been thinking about buying maybe another singer, or either buy a FAF or something, because I know I could get the more it'll cost more like about 2 or 3 thousand Danish kroners, but it would be enough to get me by. Should I have to send this big machine to Denmark?
Yeah.
Singer talent's just, yeah. I was really proud of Nikolai that he didn't get frustrated with it, because he kept pulling the thread out of the needle, and that's one of the down things for that particular machine. It's very easy to yank the thread out without even realizing you're doing it. And it's very tight space. You get used to a bigger space, and then you go back to a little one, and it's like, oh, it's so cramped. Okay, then I got all these marks now. It looks like it. Rita says, oh, and I am seeing if this is right. The way the person was pronouncing in the documentary sounded like nuke. Yes, it's not nook. You'll see a lot of mispronunciation over on TikTok of it. It's crazy. And of course, all the people who are on cruise ships. I've been watching there's been a lot of new videos put up. I guess they're just putting them up. I don't know. They should have went up right after they got back, but I guess maybe they didn't. And what floors me the most is some of the stuff they say, especially if they come to this town, because I have a lot of knowledge of this town, and some of the stuff they say is not even the truth. And if you don't call them out on it, they're not going to correct this behavior.
Huh.
Because some of the stuff they say is like, no, that's untrue. If you don't know something, say, I don't know, I'll look it up and put it on the video, either at the end of the video, or I'll put text in to explain it. But instead, they'll just embellish it and think they're going to get away with it. Some of them do get away with it.
So I lived up by Seattle, Washington, for about 4 years or so.
Mhm.
And the names up there are really hard to pronounce too, because a
Because
lot of them are from Native American names, you know?
mhm.
And so that you can always tell when a person isn't local because they cannot pronounce the
Yeah,
names.
yeah.
So I think that happens everywhere, you know.
Yep. Well, here's an example, Denise. The rock carvings that are part of Stone and Man that were done between 1993 and 1994, there was two or three people on cruise ships saying that they were dated back to the ancient times and that they were lithographs. They are not neither of them. No, I didn't say the S word.
Well, not tonight, you didn't.
No, I haven't said a bad word tonight, actually.
No.
Can't come off my mouth today. I'm behaving. Okay, so we want to put which one is supposed to go where?
Jody wants to know if you've seen Frank lately.
No, last I heard, Frank was moving to Pennsylvania, and that's about all I know. And that was at least a month or so ago that I talked to him. He said he would be back online once he got settled in up there. So that might be why we haven't heard him. He hasn't gotten settled. I need to turn this so that it makes sense to me. Okay. No, that's the wrong thing to be putting in there, darn it.
Yeah, Zaza, I would have a really hard time over in the UK with uh some of the names over there, especially up in Scotland.
Yeah, if I couldn't say it, I would be asking a local person how to say it. When I first moved here, do you think that I could say a lot of things? No, but I also didn't bother trying to say them either. I still butcher this town's name. I still do not say it correctly. That's why you don't hear me saying it all the time. I type it more than I say it
Yeah.
because I can't get that sound that comes up from the bottom of your throat the way it's done to make it sound like that. Because basically, the sound is a KA, then a KOR, and then the T is a D sound. So you got, let me write it in the chat. So this is how it's actually spelled. Let me do that first. Now I'm going to split it up in syllables. Which is how it's spelled right now. Now I'm going to put it the way it needs to be pronounced. But you have to make a sound down here when you're doing it. It's technically this sound. So the first one is the actual spelling, where you see the KA hyphen KOR hyphen DOK. That's the pronunciation. But you also have to know how to make that sound to go with it. And I've heard some Greenlanders who have been most of their life up in the Northeast or off the East Coast that even struggle with this town's name. So it's not just my American tongue that's the problem. It is the biggest part of the problem for me because my tongue is stiff.
Is it ka or K?
Ka,
Ka.
short sound A. So it's ka kadak.
Ka kordak.
Yep.
Kakordak.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Some of them would come about 4 years ago. Some of them were calling it crack a duck. That went through the town like wildfire. Crack a duck. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was hilarious. The indigenous were having lots of fun with that one.
Well, read Sean's comment, the big one. That doesn't even look like that word. Gunny Ga New Road.
Gunny Ganu. Yeah, see?
But it looks like Ganu.
Yep. So one of the things,
Huh.
it's like the car Porsche. We all say it wrong. I watched a video about how the German names of cars are actually spoken, and I'm like, wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, there's a couple that we say wrong.
Yeah.
But,
No,
you know, you just
but
do
you
your
don't know until,
best,
yeah, you do your
you
best, but
know,
you don't know until someone
do your
corrects
best.
it.
Or you just say, you say it the way you want to say it and then say, hey, sorry if I didn't say that right, but you can
Yeah,
tell me 10 times and I'm still going to say it wrong.
yeah. It's like when I'm with a taxi driver and we're practicing my Greenlandic, and one of the words I struggle with, and I'll spell it in the channel, Angrll.
I kind of got over that because nobody can pronounce my last name right. So,
Oh, yeah, it's kind of like Oglesby. Oh my God, people don't say that one right either. So that looks like you would say anger, and I left a letter out of there, looks like. No, I didn't. So you see there is an R. I have one too many L's. That's the problem. That's why it doesn't look right. Let me respell it. So it looks like you would say something like anger samut. No, it's angasamut. And I still don't quite have the sound just right.
so the R is silent.
Yes.
Then why put it in there?
Well, the R and the L makes this. So what happens is you're supposed to put your tongue up here on the roof of your mouth, and you put sound out the sides of your cheek. It's just like the two L sounds. It has this noise coming out the sides of your cheek while your tongue is on the roof of your mouth. So, you're welcome
Oh my God.
is Isusu. And it's hard when you haven't been raised to talk like that.
Oh my goodness. Robin said she had 4 commercials so far.
Uh-oh. Well, that can't be good. Let me go see what's going on. I thought I turned that thing off. Nora, stop. You've already been fed. You've been outside. What more do you want? No.
But Mama.
Carrie says, good night, all. Have a nice night, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
Okay, let me see here. What in the world's going on? That would be monetization, I think. Wow. Let's see if this stops now. Let me know if it does. I just changed something. Yeah, like rolling the Spanish R sound. Yes. That song, that's hard for me to do also. Sean, yes, German pronounced W as a V. Yep. It's like when you want to go to the bathroom here, it's spelled with a WC, but it's actually VC. Okay, what's the short piece of that? But right, but if they are Google commercials, you can block them. I don't know what commercials they are. Because I didn't see any. Well, no, I'm not watching the chat part or the live part of it on the browser either. All I see is my Zoom window and the chat channel, and that's it. I have everything else reduced.
And I don't get commercials anyway because I pay for not to see commercials.
Yeah. Denise says, depending on the part of the country you come from, my last name is pronounced 3 different ways. I only correct them if I know I will have to say it more than once doing bussing or bussin'. Doing once, doing
Business.
oh business. Okay.
Depending on the part of the country you come from, my last name.
Zaza says,
Yeah.
I hate ads on a live as you miss bits I don't mind on a regular video. Yeah, I'm sorry. Did y'all see any those of you that watched my live Friday, did you see any ads that during that time frame? Because I hadn't heard anybody say they've seen it lately.
Well, YouTube can put ads wherever they want to. So
I know that you can manually place them, and I have no idea how to do that.
you think who is too sensitive about it? What are you talking about?
Doing business. I think you're too sensitive about it. No, people need to learn how to speak people's names. I'm doing my best to learn how to speak people's names properly.
I'm not sensitive about it at all.
No.
I don't care. I gave up. That's all.
Anyway.
The people out in the East Coast, they can pronounce my last name because there's a lot of people in the East with my last name, and there was a governor, and there's a school, and so they just know how to say it out there, but out here they don't.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it's spelled wrong. So if you say it the way it's spelled, then you're saying it correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember when I was in school and kids would get on a tangent about our last name, and it usually would be Uglies B or something like that. They would turn it into something else. And I'd go home and I'd tell mom and dad, I'm like, we have a bad surname because kids just turn it into the nastiest of names.
The only thing I didn't like was when I was growing up, the teachers always wanted to call me Terry, and not that there was anything wrong with the name Terry, but I'm like, why do you want to call me Terry? My name is not Terry. My name is Teresa. I
Yeah.
never understood that. So I said, no, you can call me that, but I probably won't answer. Well, I wouldn't know who they were talking to. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Nobody in my family ever called me Terry. So, and did you know that Terry, her name is really Teresa?
Robin says, I'm tired and can't sleep as I've had a 90-foot water oak getting cut down is 20 feet right of my shed, and if it falls wrong, it will land on my back porch. Oh, I know that feeling so much.
Jamie said she got kicked off 2 or 3 times with the ads.
From here, Jamie? She's probably on her phone too. Well, you shouldn't get any more ads because I went and checked it and I turned another setting off.
Zaza says she didn't get any ads on Lisa's live. And then she said, I hate it when people think they can choose what to call you once you've told them your name. I know, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like they want to give you a nickname. Okay, let's see how this turned out. Okay, looks much better.
Oh, she said from Lisa's live this morning. Maybe what Katie did will help. Let me know if you get an ad after what I just did, okay? Because I found a setting to turn off that I thought I had turned off. Because it'll be turned back on when this goes back to being a regular video.
Well, I have to say, I think the bottom of this looks a lot better now that I pinked the ends.
It does look good.
It looks a lot better, but even though
Yeah.
it's going to be on the inside, you know. All right, then you got to flip it around.
But at least it'll be Lisa that has to make the change on her live in order to turn it off. Now, see, I didn't hear anybody say anything about whether they had any ads on my Thursday or Friday night live. No one said anything, so I'm assuming there wasn't any. I hadn't heard anyone talk about seeing ads until tonight, so maybe tonight's just one of those weird nights of having one. I know that there's been an ungodly amount of ads lately on YouTube itself anyway, because when I watch them in my TV, just some of, like I was trying to watch Good Simple Living yesterday or Saturday, there must have been 15 darn ads in their video, which means they probably turned on the aggressive part of it. At least you can hit the skip button for the most part.
Yeah, I hate having to pay for no ads, but I just cannot stand all those advertisements. So
There's lots of
I
them.
just put it in my budget, you know.
I just wonder how many devices that paying for that will cover.
All of
Because
them.
we watch
Wherever you sign on at. It goes with your name. Wherever you sign on at.
And Zaza
So,
says, Katie, I can't remember that far back. I watched too many channels this week, and YouTube is trying to push premium.
oh yeah, that's probably
I
true.
just don't have it in my budget right now. If I was making money off my YouTube channel and enough to make off of it to take care of these kind of extra things, then I would do it, but it's not. So not right now anyway.
Okay, there's my little pop-up.
Hey, let me spotlight you so you can give them a good view of it. Was it hard to do as far as it, except for the bottom of it? That looks
No,
great. It's super cute.
and
Oh,
then
I love it.
whoosh.
Nice.
And then the elastic on it, is used to hold it down if you want
Oh,
to put it in your, take it
cool.
with you.
It's also said I'd rather pay membership to a channel than pay for premium. Yeah, I have some membership that I pay. I'd rather give someone a little extra in their channel. especially the small ones. That's why I asked
Well,
why you have your stuff turned on, because I would become a member of your channel, Teresa.
well, Brandon watches a lot of YouTube too, and he doesn't like commercials. So, no. If it goes up much higher, I'll probably cancel it because you know, you get a lot of free movies with that too.
Oh, do you?
Movies and music, and it's not just ad free. You get other stuff with it. Yeah, I like how that turned out. You know, I think I would probably make another one. Um, I have some of these rings that are bigger.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I was going to make some decorative trash cans, you know.
Yeah.
Now that I know how to do it, I know I did it. I did
Yeah,
it.
Jean says, you did it. Lovely. Nora's confused. I already fed her earlier, and she's like, why are we in here this late? Now I think you should feed me again. No, I'm not going to. I wish I could take out a bone and saw it in half and let her have that to chew on, but oh, that's just too messy.
This is actually bigger than I thought it was going to be. But it'll work.
Do you have one of these from a So Sampler box, Teresa?
Yeah, that came from a So Sampler box.
No, I mean, do you have one of these too?
Huh?
Do you have one of these too?
No, I don't.
This is from a So Sampler box.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Oh, that must have been from before I started getting them.
Between 2015 to 2018, I think. I'm just finally getting around to using it. I'm like, I need to really use this instead of letting it sit there collecting dust, you know?
Yeah.
Saza says, Teresa, it turned out great.
Thank you.
Okay. And this
Okay,
little
I
box,
have a whole bunch. See, I had planned on making a bunch of those because I have the big ring. I have this ring.
wow.
I have another 6-inch ring like I just made. And then I have the little teeny one. Look how small this one is.
It is teeny.
It's I think it's 3 inches. And it's by the same person. Yeah, I got these at a quilt store that was discontinuing them or something, so I got them really cheap, like 75% off or something like that.
I'm about to make a boo-boo here.
3, 5.5 inch, 8 inch, and a whopping 10.5 inch.
Sean, what are you sewing on? Or are you just sitting and watching?
Oh, it's warm up here.
It's definitely warm in this house.
Okay,
I just
I
don't want to
am
open
going.
any windows because the mosquitoes and me having lights on, they'll be drawn to the light. Because it looks a little bit, it looks like it looked last night. We had a lot of cloud cover, so it looks dark outside. And it's weird. But in a couple hours, it won't look like that. Ooh, this did not cut the thread. Why not? Probably because I need to clean it. Teresa, is that the platform, the pattern from Fat Quarter Shop? She asked.
Yeah.
She said she may have missed if you already said it.
Yes, this is the pattern from the Fat Quarter Shop called Snowdrift.
I want that
And I'm
pattern.
going to change it around one more time and see if I like it this other way.
That's a great idea, testing it, see what you get. Okay, we'll talk about the poll on the shark thing now. Okay, let's see what the poll says. The poll said the question was, what is the longest age discovered for a Greenland shark? Option 1 was 50, option 2 was 500, option 3 was 150, and option 4 was 200. And we're talking about years. The answer is 500 years. Now, who wants to guess what sex of the shark that lived to be 500 or was still living the last time they saw her?
Oh, you did it. It was a girl.
Too late. I already gave it away. See how hard it is for me to not say something? So it was a female shark, 500 years old. And Sean did make a comment about them eating reindeer and stuff that's fallen into the water. Yep, they've done that. But they don't do like regular sharks where they just jump up and kill things. A female. She actually has a name, but I can't remember what her name is. Let me see if I can find out what her name is. Hold on a minute. Where's my phone? Because they actually gave her a name. I think the people in Iceland named her. She was over their direction. Nora, stop. They gave her a nickname or something. No, I thought they gave her a name. I thought I saw somewhere where she had a name, not the scientific name. Humans like to name things.
Yeah.
I'll have to find the story and share it with you guys. I think I read it over on the actual Greenland website where yeah, I think that's where I read it. That was the actual Greenlandic site. There's 2 or 3 sites that are written by Greenlanders, scientific people.
What do
And we're
you
talking,
think of that, Katie?
I think that works.
You like that better?
I liked both ways. Do I like one or the other one? I don't know. I think it looks good though.
I kind of like it like that.
Yeah, it looks good like that. I agree. Boy, that dark color really does stand out, doesn't it?
Yeah. With all my extra blocks, it's hard to
How
put it
many
the way
extra?
it's. How many extra? 4.
Yeah. Did you have any of them that had that lighter green?
Nope.
Okay.
What's up there is up there.
Okay.
What I have is up
Looks
there.
good. I think it looks terrific.
I'm going to have to take a picture of it. Does that lighter green look darker than the blue? The light blue?
That darker green, yes, does look. Well, where's the? Can you walk over to the board and show us which one's the light blue you're talking about?
These two are the light blues,
Oh, got ya.
and then these two are the green.
They're almost similar in color.
Yeah, probably from that far away it doesn't help. Let me
Yeah.
bring the camera up closer.
Hey, Janice, and bye, Janice. Cindy Surratt, it's good to see you. I didn't know you were here. Oh, I see what you mean. Wowee. So you have that one darker one up at the top. Oh, you got
Well,
the
that's what
camera
I'm
backwards.
asking. Does the green look darker?
Yeah, it does look darker.
Okay, let me switch it over to the blue because I want the lightest one in the corner.
Yeah.
And I can't tell.
It said goodnight, Katie. It's like, wait, I didn't even know you were here. Oh, well, hello, Janice. Glad to see you here. I thought you came and then you're leaving again. Actually, I like it like that. That
Okay,
looks
yeah,
nice.
that's
Yeah, that works. That works.
now that you blew me up, I can tell that the greens are darker.
Yeah, yeah, that does work. It's too bad you didn't have 3 of the blue where you could do corner and then the second row next to the corner, but you
Yeah,
don't. Yeah,
I don't.
yeah. It's okay though. It looks fine like that. It looks
Yeah,
good
which
actually. I think
like
it looks great. And it connects to all the other stuff. Yep. Regina says, good night, everyone. Looks great, Teresa.
yeah, I think I like it like that
Yep.
best.
It looks good like that. Yep. That's doable.
Okay.
Definitely doable. Yep. Nora, stop.
What do you want, Nora girl?
She's like, my mother's sitting in the chair. And it's like, you want to go get in the bed? I'll put you in the bed, but you're not getting anything else. Ugh. I'll be right back, Teresa. Maybe she needs to go to the bathroom. Do you need to go shoo shoo? I reckon that's a yes. Come on.
Good night, Regina. I didn't even know she was here. Oh, and Janice. Good night, Janice. Okay. All right. I'm gonna take a photo of that one, the way I have it set up now, and then I'll look at both ways that I had it. Then I think I'm going to show it to Brandon too and ask him what he thinks, what he likes. Not that that matters because it's not for him anyway, but um,
I heard that.
unless he really loves it, then I'll let him have it, I guess.
Laura.
And okay. Now, what to work on now? What to work on now? Plus, I need to figure out what um what fabric I'm going to use for the border in the pattern. It's a dark blue, and I wonder how much I need of it. I need 1 yard. So that is good because I have a lot more options then if I only need a yard.
Now I know why it's so dark outside.
It's cloudy.
Besides the cloud cover, there is no street lights on.
Oh,
None. Zero.
do they normally do that?
No, that's very odd. Something must have happened to them. It looks like the people across the street have power, so it's not that. Janice, are you working on anything?
Thanks, Janice.
Hi, Mary G.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
It does look wonderful. That pattern, oh my gosh. Could you imagine what you could do with it with batiks? It would be pretty.
Yeah, and I have a batik back quarter bundle I'm thinking about using for it too.
Yeah, I think it would look fantastic. Fantastic. Katie, do the
But
street go off after a certain time? Um, they I'm not sure when they go off exactly during the winter months. And I really don't pay much attention during the summer months because usually they're not on if we have daylight. Right now there's no daylight because we have cloud cover for one thing. And let me see. It is, yeah, we're like in the twilight time frame. Soon it'll be brighter outside. Janice says she is working on a pattern for a baby quilt. Nice. Okay, we got that part done. Now let's do this green.
yeah, thank you, Mary. Yeah, my husband doesn't, well, he does give me an opinion. That's true. And there's been some of my quilts that I've done that he has really liked that has surprised me.
Same with Nikolai. Sometimes I'll ask him, I'm a little stuck and he can see I'm stuck on something. And I'll say, honey, do you like this color over this color? And then he'll come over and he'll actually touch the thing and move it around and see what he thinks, and then he gives an opinion. And a lot of times the opinion he gives is actually worth listening to, you know?
Yeah. Oh no, there's a block over there that looks wrong.
Uh-oh. Did you just capture something?
Uh, the print of the fabric, the light
Uh-huh.
in it, the light
Yeah.
in it is at the tip. So it looks like it's too much white there in that corner, like the points didn't match up,
Yeah.
but that's not the case. It's just the fabric's white, and against the white background, you can't tell. I could take a green pen and fix it.
Yep. Oh, that's it. Have you done that before?
I've done it on thread,
Okay.
color over thread. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Only on my own quilts, though. Like if it was going to be in a quilt show,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say I was using a white thread in the background and I accidentally bumped over a little bit, like when I'm long arming,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe I bumped over into the border, which is dark, and so it showed up really, a lot.
Yeah.
So I would take instead of taking all those stitches out, I just take the marker and paint all of the thread black instead of white, so it wouldn't show up.
Yeah. That makes good sense to me.
Yeah.
Why are you not sitting right? Maybe because you're a little bit crooked. That's why. Okay. Now let's get on this one.
Jamie says she loves that pattern.
It's beautiful. I love it too. I'm like, it's too bad they don't have it on the website. I'd be buying that one. And
Yeah.
I usually don't buy patterns, but I like that one. That one has lots of potential to turn into something really even more beautiful, you know?
Yeah. And when I do it in boutiques, I'm going to make it big enough for my bed.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It definitely makes me want to make one for the bed. Zaza says she's colored white stitches black too. I saw Jenny Dung do it. Wow. Zaza says my husband's favorite is a Lego blanket I got free 2 years ago for spending over a certain amount. It's actually really nice for a freebie as you couldn't buy them. What does it look like? Can you take a picture of it and share it with us? Either on the Facebook group or YouTube? Supposed to be able to post pictures on people. Uh-oh. My thread is out. What the heck happened here?
Jamie, I said white thread on background, on a white background, not white thread on black fabric. But yeah, so if you're on the long arm and you're, changing threads like I do when I do custom quilting, sometimes you bump over into the wrong area you're not supposed to be in with that color thread. And then that's why I bought I bought these micro line, they're archive ink.
Not anymore, Jamie. I haven't
So
gotten a
they're permanent.
I haven't gotten one since right before the pandemic. I got them. I had done the subscription for about 4 years. 4 or 5. I can't remember the exact amount. I canceled that one, and I also canceled what used to be called Creative Notions. I don't know if it's still called that anymore or not.
Oh yeah, they Creative Notions. Their box is every other month now.
Yeah, I canceled both of them.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy, so I stopped getting them. I felt like I mean, I like some of the traditional colorways. Like I've really fallen in love with that Corey Yoder Callie and Co. one. I really like that one because it's super bright and happy. But I'm not a fan. I mean, I like some of Lori Holt stuff, but not enough to have an entire fabric line of hers. I only like 4 or 5 colors out of the entire thing.
Yeah. I got rid of most of all of my Lori Holt. Kind of like how you did with all your Tula Pink.
Yeah, it just doesn't light my fire is what I'm going to say about it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. But you know, I like the reds and the blues and the yellows. Sometimes she comes out with a they are calling it purple, but I think it's more like a plum color. Sometimes I'll get a little bit of that. And I do sometimes buy occasionally, if the background, like I have the hashtag, no, the X's, you know, the little X's that are for on white fabric and it has the really light pale grayish color on it. Those X's everywhere. I've bought that because I actually have a lot of that in the house. But outside of that, I just prefer other things. Like if I could have, I'm weird. I don't like 18th century fabric, but I like the fabric from Lisa Bonjean's company. What's it called? What's the name of her
Primitive
company?
Gatherings.
I like a lot of primitive gathering stuff. It's strange that I like that, but I don't like Civil War stuff.
Yeah, not all of hers would be considered Civil War, I don't think. I mean, it's kind.
She
I
makes
don't
some of
know.
the most beautiful blues and reds, and
Yeah.
instead, like this fabric right here, since I have it out here already, I think this is primitive gathering on this one. Hang on. No, this is Monique and Simpson, and they're both similar in their fabric. I like this because it's not solid white. It's not that bright white in your face, and it has this design, but when you take it away, you don't really see it in your face.
Right.
Especially when you put it with beautiful reds, blues, greens.
Yeah,
It's
nice.
when they had this on the market, I think I have a close to 10 yards of this by the time it was over with because I've been using the heck out of it.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, Jamie, rustic. That I think
Yeah,
that's a
it's
good
more
word.
rustic, and I think that's why I like it because I can use it for myself if I want to, but I can also use it for making a quilt top for my son, and it not be this glaring white. Because one of the things when I was first starting out in this, one of the things I noticed that I didn't care so much for was all the white in so many quilts. I'm like, why? Why so much white? And I know it's supposed to be that way, but I didn't
No,
understand. I didn't understand why so much was being used. But then I started seeing like this kind of white. This is not glaringly in your face, or like this one. This one has stars, and I don't know what the other thing is. But see, you notice it's not white white. It's like
right.
a white. It's softer, is what I'm saying.
Soft
And I
white.
like the softer. I don't like the harsh white color, but I don't like my laptop. Like the screens you see me looking at you on, they are in black. They're not in white. Something about white hurts my eyes.
Huh.
She's under here moaning.
Oh,
Now, Zaza says my favorite is
there's
Tilda.
an elk outside.
Oh, cool.
I just heard it whining.
Is it male or female, you think?
Oh God, I wish I could show you. I gotta show you. There's a baby out there, okay? Do you want to see
Oh,
it? Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Let me see if I can flip my phone around. Oh, can you see him?
No, can you zoom a little bit?
Can you put me on,
Oh, yeah, hang on. Now you're on
on this?
Spotlight. Oh, I see back there in the background now. Oh, that's pretty freaking awesome. No, I see them right there. They're in your yard. Wow. Are they skittish of humans?
Look how tiny she is. Oh,
Very
she's so
tiny,
little.
adorable.
Can you tell?
Yeah, I can tell it's a small one. Oh, sweet baby. Will they run the minute they up? There she
Yeah,
goes.
there she goes.
She's like, I'm out of here. Somebody's moving. So they're a little bit skittish. Oh, there's one, two. Well, she stopped again. So is she looking at you?
See the other baby? There's two babies.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it looked like there was another one.
Yeah, one on the left and one on the right.
That's pretty amazing. When we see reindeer when we go out into nature, no,
Sorry about the sun.
no, it's okay. When we're out, I'm fixing to put you out of here. When we go to nature,
Okay, you can take me off of.
okay, and we'll see some reindeer. They don't run the minute they see us. I think that's why Corbin's able to get off shots like he does because they just stand there and look at you like, who are you? Because they really don't have any. They really don't have any natural predators. The wolves that are part of Greenland live way up north,
Mm.
and they're probably too fast for a polar bear to get after them when they accidentally find their way in South Greenland. Jean says, wow. Hi, Jennifer. Jennifer says, that's so cool. And Joy T says, beautiful scenery. And hey, Pete, how are you? And Donna Lynn says, what a great view. It's weird that it's broad daylight with you, Teresa. It's getting light here already, and it's not even 4 a.m. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It'll be daylight here pretty quick, too. And you're 2 hours ahead of me. You're in Scotland. So I think you're 2 hours ahead of me. It's strange
That's
because
Go ahead.
it's strange because the UK is 2 hours ahead of us, but Denmark's 3 ahead of us. Dana Lynn says it's dark there. Mary G says that's cool in your yard. I think it's pretty cool. Do you ever feed them?
They not in the summer. The winter time they feed if they're here. A lot of people feed them.
Well, that's very cool.
Oh, you could barely see but you could see it.
Yeah, you can see them.
Yeah. Well, the one you can see the best was the mama, and then to the left of it was the baby who looks like a little dog.
So both of those were her babies?
Yeah,
Oh, so she had twins.
yeah, she had twins.
Is that a rare effect or is that normal to
That's
happen?
pretty rare with elk. It's common with deer, but not so much with elk. And they've been hiding out all day over here in the pine trees. So this is the first time I've seen them today.
Oh, speaking of trees and stuff, that incident that happened with the fire and the sniper, was that near anywhere near you?
No, that was up by Spokane, which is about, oh,
Because I meant to
six.
ask you about it earlier and forgot because it said
It,
it was in North Idaho.
yeah, I'm in north central Idaho.
Uh-huh.
And that is like way up north. It's up by Spokane. It was about, I would say 6.5 or so hours from here.
Okay. I hadn't heard any
So,
more whether they got the fire out or not.
yeah, they got the fire out.
Because last I heard, they had gotten the person, but they were still dealing with the fire and the crime scene.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Zaza. It's just mostly just grass and pine trees.
Well, grass can burn just as good as anything else. I'm so excited that we're going to get to go see that very old forest in August. As long as, there's no ice or anything to get in the way of us going.
Oh,
Because it's about a 3-hour boat ride.
oh wow. That's a long
Yeah,
ride.
I think the plan is when we go, we're going to go get there the first night, spend the night, and then we're going to go see the forest, and then we'll set sail again, and we're going to go to the hot springs. But before we get to the hot springs, we're going to go set gear for salmon, and then come back to the hot springs, and then go back and do more salmon fishing.
Oh,
I
that
think
sounds
that's
like
the
fun.
plan. So, yep, it'll be fun. While we're in Nanotalik, we should have cell tower service. So if we do, I might be able to go live and while we're in Nanotalik, so you guys can see that area. Since I don't have any video, I've been to Nanotalik, but way back then, it was a long time ago, like 20, either 2012 or 2013. And at the time, it didn't occur to me to make a video. Now, when I go, I'm going to make a video because Nanotalik is interesting. And Nanotalik means polar bear. Well, sort of.
Sorry, I had to go see what was going on out there. Hey, there are 4 baby elk.
Oh,
And they moved over here to the right of the house. And then
uh,
right below the deck, he's laying down and he's a 1-year-old bull. So his horns are still in velvet and they're about, about 5-6 inches big. And they
mm-hmm,
are kind of knobby right now
mm-hmm,
because they're in the growing spurt,
yep.
and he's laying right out there
Oh
below the
my
deck.
gosh, that is so cool.
Okay, I
You
gotta
should
go
put
look again.
you should invest yourself in a couple of game cams and put them out there so you can share the video online with everybody.
Oh yeah, I should.
Because you have spots out there you can set the webcams on, and they run off battery, so you don't have to run electricity to them. I know I want a game camera. I'd like to put one somewhere near the lake. If I could figure out a strategic place to hide it that wouldn't get stolen.
I wish I could take you out there and show you, but that sun is like blaring right in my eyeballs. Yeah, that little buck, he's pretty close to my outdoor freezer.
So just jump in the freezer, please.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. For me, he's too small.
Yeah.
But those poor little bulls don't last long around here, I can tell you. Hunting season opens around October, I think.
They open that early?
Yeah, the first season, which is bow season.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. And they prey
Yeah.
upon the young ones, don't they?
Well, they have what they call a spike hunt, and so he would be a spike. And I feel really bad. He's a beautiful bull too. That's sad that
Why wouldn't they
we don't
just take
have,
the bigger bulls and leave the young ones to come up and let them
but
grow a little?
there aren't any big ones anymore. Between
Oh,
the
really?
hunters and the wolves, we
Um,
we had a pretty bad herd of wolves here this past winter, and they just devastated the herd.
well, they have to eat somehow.
Well, they need to not reintroduce them is what they need to do, especially since they are not the native wolves to this area.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they never had the big wolves down here. They were always up in up in Canada and Alaska, way up high, not down here.
Jamie says they released wolves from Canada. You
They
gotta
had
have
I think they down here they were called timber wolves. They were smaller.
Jennifer says, so Katie, what brought you to Greenland from Florida? Love did. Love, sweet love. Really, it was because he's an amazing human being. I didn't think I would ever get a second chance of finding love and happiness and peacefulness, and because I never had any of that. We have a pretty amazing story. Over on my YouTube channel on the main page, there's a video. It was my first live actually, I think. And me and Nikolai talk about how we came to be together. And I haven't regretted moving over here. I miss Florida. I miss some things about Florida, not everything. The state has changed a lot. It's not the state I used to know. But the last time I was there, which was last year, we were down in Clearwater, which is where he asked me to marry him. And we were in the sitting. We had first. I took him to so he could see the beach because we didn't take time last time we were there. And then when we were waiting, coming back, we sat in a park for a while, and this park is surrounded by Bismarck palms. And I've forgotten what it sounds like to hear the wind lightly move, rustle the palm fronds. It was like, oh my gosh, I had forgotten what that sounded like. Nicholas like, what sounded like? I said, you don't hear that? I hear movement of the palms. I said, I'm talking about that. And he's like, oh, it never occurred to me to think about that way. Because, he's never heard it except when he's come to Florida. But I've heard it my whole life. The other thing is I never get to hear thunder unless, and I was thinking I would at least have one thunderstorm while I was there last year. There wasn't. It just rained. That's all it did. Because that's the other thing that I haven't heard for a very long time is thunder, or what it smells like when it does it, because it makes a smell when you have lightning.
Hey, Janice, there's a app you can download that calculates quilt math like that. Let me look real quick on mine what it is. Hold on.
Yeah, it should tell you what. Yeah, Janice, there is a. I also think Fat Quarter Shop has something too.
RK
You can share it since you're
Robert Kaufman Fabrics. It's called the Quilters
calculator or something.
Calculator.
Let me see if I can find
Yeah.
the link.
Thanks,
Hold on a
Jamie.
minute. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go hunt the link. Robert.
I wouldn't move. I wouldn't live anywhere where there wasn't oxygen.
What did you call that again?
It's called Robert Kaufman quilt. It's a quilting calculator from Robert Kaufman.
Okay, now I see it now. Okay.
It's really super easy to use. I use it for borders and binding all the time. That's what I use it for the most.
Here's the link, Janice. There you go. Be right back. Need to film a little more. Hey, living and crafting with MS. What's your first name? Probably asked that before and forgotten.
Looks like she ran over her finger with a sewing needle.
Who did? Ah, Janice says she got stuck on the border calculations. Thanks. You remember where when I cut my finger with that knife?
Yeah.
You know, it's been what, 2 months now, and it still has this something up underneath the skin. It feels like it's, I don't know what it is, but when I bend my finger, it still hurts.
Really?
Yes. So I'm thinking about talking to the doctor about it because maybe because I didn't go get it stitched up, maybe it caused something there, or I cut deeper than I thought I did. Because if I bend it, or if I go to like pull the blanket onto the, or pull the sheets across the bed or something, it hurts. I need to make a doctor's appointment tomorrow anyway.
I think
I
the
need.
sun is almost down.
Do you get a lot of magnificent sunsets there?
What's that?
Do you see a lot of magnificent sunsets from your balcony?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful ones.
I love that you got that little balcony up there. All right, is this one long enough? No, it's not. And here I thought it was going to be long enough. Okay, we're going to have to cut this the other direction.
Well, the little bull is still out there laying down, but all the babies are gone. Went
Moved
off
along.
with mama somewhere.
Yeah, sounds like it. Spent my whole military career in buildings with no windows. Oh my, ouch.
I would
That,
not like that at all.
no, me neither. I was going to show y'all some fabric tonight. that I'm going to use, because I'm going to show you a pattern I'm going to make. I'm making me a tunic, and I seem to have misplaced the fabric. Isn't that hilarious of me? Because I took it out of the craft room, brought it in somewhere in here. In fact, I even cut a piece off of it. I'll show you what, well, I actually, because I cut a piece off of it because I'm going to use the rest of it for the tunic. And, because I want to make a couple more, I need some fresh shirts. And since I like tunics so much, I bought patterns a while ago, bought 2 or 3 tunic patterns. So, and I'm going to test run a batik and see how it wears once I sew it. We'll see if it softens up once I've washed it a couple times. Because it should just drape right on down once it's been washed the first time.
Yeah.
And I won't wash it until after I've made the tunic.
Don't pant on me, you're hot.
Uh-oh, I need to move this needle. This is a bad place for this needle. Let's move you out of the way because we're about to have another block finished.
I should probably go eat dinner.
Yeah, don't run off. I'm going to show you this pattern and blanket before you run off. I mean, fabric. How long have I been live now?
2 hours. 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Okay. I was worried I'd already hit 3 hours without even thinking about it.
Did you see the Primitive Gathering subscription box this month?
No, but I planned on going over there and look at it because you and someone else mentioned that it might be up my alley.
Yeah, Jamie put up Jamie put up a video of it.
Oh, did she? Then I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah. What I think is really cool is we got this pattern or book stand this time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. So by the time I sign up for it, it'll be too late to get that.
Probably.
That's cute. Something's not right here. What's the deal? Oh, I pushed this fabric over too much. That's what's the deal. Dang it.
Yeah, you can, it has a bunch of little spots in it where you can put it up where you want it.
Nice.
Stand it up where you want it.
What kind of fabric did you get in the box?
Oh, we got this cool brush.
Well, before you open all of it, are you saving it to do on your live? No,
I forgot to show it today, so I'll show it next Sunday. Got this really cool brush for dusting brush.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess you could use it for a makeup brush.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it looks like a makeup brush too.
But it's really soft, super
soft.
soft.
Soft, yeah.
So there's that. Got that, and then here's the stand.
Wow, that is nice. Sweet.
Yeah. And then they're doing a block of the every other month. And so the fabric is your typical
Primitive gathering stuff.
Like war fabric, but these are the blocks.
Oh, red, white, and blue stuff. Okay.
And this is the fabric. Civil War. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I like that particular style. I'm not so much into the brown stuff. Oh, that's a nice red color. I don't even know what color you call that, but it reminds me of red and brown mixed together. So I don't know what you would consider that to be. Wow.
Okay, there's that. And then we got 2 charm packs. Reproduction. Thank you, Jamie.
Is it reproduction every time you get a box?
Oh, not necessarily, no. Well, for this block it is. Because that's the sew along.
Okay.
And it's a mystery sew along.
Ooh.
But then you always get some other fabric and a pattern. So this is the pattern.
Oh, that's cute.
And here's the fabric.
Oh, that's nice.
And it's called Collection for the Cause, Unity. And by, I think it's Howard Nelson, but I can't tell. Oh, and it's very pretty. But yeah, it's like reproduction. I like this one. This black and little teeny pink flowers.
That is pretty.
It'd be too hard for me to show you all this fabric, but
Yeah. Yeah.
and then they gave a charm pack of whites,
Oh.
cream colored, what
Mhm.
cream on cream,
Mhm.
and there's a bunch of different
Oh, wow.
styles in there. So that ought to do the pattern. I don't know what else you need for it. 2.5 yards of background, 3.5 yards of backing, a half a yard for the binding.
Oh, cool.
So that's
So how much
what
do
was
you pay
in
a
the
month?
box.
How much do you pay a month for it?
I pay $45 every other month,
Okay.
and that includes the shipping.
Okay. Well, it'll be a little different for international.
And normally you get 2 caramels, like handmade caramels, and they are delicious, but they were not in my box,
Okay, got you.
so I didn't get them this time. But
Huh.
I am gonna call them Monday and tell them I didn't get mine, and I expect 4 in my next box.
Like, where's the camera?
Because, hey, I look forward to those caramels every
Mhm.
other month. The caramels are delicious. Okay, you can take me off of big screen, please.
Okay. And I'm going to show you a pattern here in a minute. As soon as I
Okay.
finish this one up. I bought like 3 different patterns, but I'm only going to show one that the first one I'm going to be messing with. The other 2, I don't know when I'll mess with them. I think I need to order some. I think I need a couple things for one of them that I didn't think to buy while I was in the States. So I'll probably have to do it when I come back to the States. Okay, now we have 2 of these blocks and they are the way they're supposed to be. Yay! See?
Oh, cute.
Yeah. So I only need
Awesome.
2 more to go on that and I'll have that set done. Okay, pattern. Da, da, da. So on this pattern, I'm going to be making, and I don't know if I'll be able to, I'm going to spotlight this camera right here.
Okay.
Because I'm going to try to explain how I'm planning to do this. Okay, so this is the pattern. It's a tunic. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that the neckline looks like this. It's going to have the sleeves like that. And it's going to have the split lower part of it on the hips on both sides like this part of it. So I'll be taking parts of like the sleeves part from D, the neckline from E, and the split openness of the tunic from A. And that's what I'm going to do with it.
Cool.
And so here's a just a plain old drawing of it. So I'll have these little cap sleeves, but I'll have that neckline down there, and I'll have this open tunic part on the bottom half of it. And I'm going to make it probably another couple of inches longer because I like the longer one. I like it like mid thigh, and that's what I'll probably end up doing. I need to do the measure because if you look at the lady, it looks like it's just above mid thigh.
Right.
And I want to make it just a little bit longer. And I'm going to do, let me show you the fabric that I'm going to do it with.
Hi, Jody.
Hey, Jody. I'm going to use this fabric.
Oh, pretty.
And then I think what I'll do along that collar, the collar line I was talking about, this right here,
Yeah.
I'm thinking either I'll take and trim it with a color that I can coordinate with this fabric, or I could get fancy and figure out what style of quilt blocks I can make that I could sew along the outer edges of that to give that decorative effect to it.
Right.
And you could even do the same thing down on the bottom if you wanted.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah. And you'll have like, but this fabric would look great, I think. It's really colorful and vibrant. And once it's been washed a couple of times, it should lay right down like it's supposed to. So that's my plan.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
I love tunics. And I mean, these two shirts you've been seeing me. Well, this black shirt's not as long as the other two are, but I have a couple of them that are almost to my mid thighs, and I've always liked wearing them like that. It covers up a lot of things. So that's my plan.
Yeah, I like longer shirts too.
Yeah, I always have. Maybe because I used to be and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that when I was in the church, all we were allowed to do was wear dresses or skirts. And when I first stopped going to the church, and I was, I could wear whatever the heck I wanted to. It took me a long time to ever even wear a pair of shorts or a pair of pants because it was so foreign to me at the time because we had been so long without being able to wear pants. When I was a real young girl, that before we got in the church, we wore pants and stuff, but I don't, once you hit that teenage year and you're doing it for a long time wearing dresses, you kind of forget what it felt like to have pants on your legs and things between your legs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so now I like wearing leggings. I've gotten into leggings. I've stopped wearing jeans altogether because I don't like wearing them. And here, there's no point in wearing denim because the cold goes right through them.
Yeah.
They're not warm enough. I discovered that. That's why I have 3 pair of new jeans that I don't wear because they're not warm enough. And my leggings is, which is weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, that collar that I was talking about, Zaza, I think that collar could be doable for quilt blocks. If you went around the edge right there all the way around, I think it would work. It'd be like having what did they used to call that neckline where it looked like it had a bodice or something on it? It wasn't a bodice, but it would have fancy trim around it. But I can't remember what it was called. but it has potential to modify it and make it really pretty.
Yeah. You could also do something like crochet a piece that
That
goes in
had
there.
thought, yeah, I had thought of that too because it's definitely a nice spot to do some decorative stitches with crocheting as well. And I actually have that type of yarn that I could do it with as well. So either way, I want to do something about that area and give it a little bit of humph to it a little bit
Right.
because I think it would look nice. And at least
Well,
it won't be too low necked either.
right.
Okay.
Well, Janice used the app and she said it was going to be a game changer.
All right, Janice, I'm happy to hear that. Jody says, I like your idea of taking what you like and incorporating it. Yeah, because I get hot easy and I cannot stand long sleeves on it. I mean, I have to wear them in the wintertime. I have no choice. But if you saw how I dressed, you know how you see me all the time wearing these sleeveless shirts and tunics? That'll be on underneath a sweater or a flannel shirt and a jacket. I still dress that way, but during the windy times when it requires snow pants because the air will just go right through you, and I'll wear a parka and snow pants, but I still have leggings and all this summery stuff sitting up underneath it because I get hot easy. Anyway, I
Okay.
think
I got to ask you something.
what
Does she pronounce her name Janice or Janice?
it's Janice.
Did she tell you that?
She did.
Okay. Because it says Janice.
Yep, but it's not pronounced like Janice.
Okay. All right. Because I
It's,
kept getting confused. I'm like, who's she talking about? Because
yep, Janice.
I'll have to try to remember that because I always call her Janice.
I think it's a Jamaican name, I
Yeah.
believe. She has such a pretty accent. I could listen to her all day long.
Yeah, she does.
It's like so beautiful. So Jody, what you been working on? Joy T says ribbons.
Oh, ribbons for your shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Katie is correct. The spelling is the same. The pronunciation is Caribbean.
See, we all learn something.
Yep.
It's not always as it seems.
Do you mind if I pronounce it wrong? I'm sorry, I was. I didn't know. And it's like you know, Day, Dela.
Hmm.
Everybody calls her Delia, and it's Delia.
I want to call her Delia, but I know that must be wrong.
Yeah, it's pronounced with the A sound.
Yeah.
That's the way she pronounces it.
Mhm.
But other people spell their name the same way and pronounce it with the E. So,
Denise says she's not particular about it though. No offense taken. Yeah, she's not
okay.
saying anything. Yeah, she's not going to get upset about it. Like here, when they say Catherine, it's not, they don't have that TH sound. It's Catherine.
Huh.
And so that's why I started paying more attention to people's names and how I said them because, sometimes it's not always the way you think it's supposed to be said because we all have ethnic backgrounds behind us, and some of us, and my name's spelled different, which is even worse because my mother spelled it the old English style and not the RINE or the KATH part of it, or CATH. Mine's KATHRYN. It's very old
Oh,
English,
huh.
my name. So people would never spell it right, much less say it right. But I didn't care about my first name because I didn't like being called Catherine way back then anyway. Cat was my thing. I like being called Cat. And because I can't say Cappy here, they started calling me Katie. And mainly the Danish ones are the ones calling me Katie. And I'm like, why even bother to struggle? Because I didn't like being called Kathy anyway. And I like Katie, and everybody seems to like that name because no one complains about it or says anything bad about it anyway. Yeah, I didn't say Dahlia because Dahlia is DH, yeah, the way you just spelled it. I would call that Dahlia. I said Delia, and which is wrong. I know that.
And she doesn't call it Dahlia either. It's Dayla.
Yeah.
She but she just says to call her Day. It's easier. So.
And I have a feeling it has something to do with maybe it's part of her Spanish language, I think.
Could be.
I'm not sure what part of, I mean, I don't know much about her ethnic background other than I know she's Spanish. That's all I know. And I guarantee you, my sister, the one that lives in Spain, she's had a heck of a time having to learn to say people's names that are Spanish names because they're not always as they seem, even in Spanish.
Yeah, people in Spanish even says Teresa different, and
yeah, Teresa or something. Yeah, it's Teresa or something like that. And but she speaks fluent Spanish because she's lived in Spain for, let's see, Lynette's 30. I think Lynette's 38. She's either 38 or 39, one of them two. And she moved to Spain 2 weeks after Lynette was born. And she's been over there ever since. She was the smart one. She escaped while she could. Okay. Anybody want to talk about anything? Because I think I've done my 2 hours. I think I'm done for now. I got it out of my system now. And I need to end that.
I better go see if the hubby has eaten yet.
What are y'all having for dinner?
I just warming up the ribs from Friday night.
What are those? I knew you were making them.
Yeah, we had ribs Friday night, and I did the whole rack because I thought maybe my brother might be showing up, but he didn't. And so now I have all these leftover ribs.
Do you remember Thursday night I said I was going to play chicken bobbin? I mean, thread bobbin.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the live, when we got done and we ended the live, I was looking at my sewing machine and I'm like, why do I have a little piece of thread down here in the needle? I noticed it was missing off the top half of the machine. When I finished that block, it left about 6 inches of thread.
Oh, wow.
So when I looked, I'm like, oh, I finished another spool of thread. That's why it's sitting up here like that. I'm like, see there.
Nice, Zaza. Good to see you. Sleep
Cindy's
well.
right. Yeah, Cindy's right. And see you on the next go around. All right, I'm going to call it, you guys. Thank you for coming and hanging with us tonight. I appreciate it. And Teresa, thank you for coming. I appreciate that.
Oh, sure, anytime.
Yeah, we got a couple more hours of sewing in, and
yeah.
Now I'm going to go watch TV and hope I fall asleep. Anyway, okay. So thank you, everyone. Remember to live, laugh, love, and dream. And what do you do with that? You create something beautiful. And let me end this live.
Bye, everyone.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Oh, I had this cryptic message